How would you like to know the formula for tripling and even quadrupling your business? Well, my next guest shares her financial secrets to aligning your mind and giving you the strategies to do so. So before you buy that new pair of shoes, you got to watch this episode. Here's the deal. If you're listening on iTunes, do me a favor, please rate, review, and subscribe, because my mission is to empower millions of women all over the world. And go over to heatherpicken.com and subscribe onto the blog where the YouTube videos are there, and press that bell. Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe and press Pavlov's bell. Yes, I'm calling it Pavlov. So that you know when the next episode is going to show up in your inbox. So I hope you enjoy this next episode of La Dolce Vita, the formula for fabulous living.
Frankie Lee, dimmi, qual è senso della vita?
The meaning of life is to live La Dolce Vita, which is the formula for fabulous living.
Hi, my name is Heather Picken, and welcome to the La Dolce Vita Show, the formula for fabulous living. I'm the catalyst in helping you to be more confident, create your dream business, and attract elite clients and live a fabulous life. Here's Heather helping you to upgrade your life to
Fabulous. Upgrade your life to fabulous. Right, Frankie? You're fabulous.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of La Dolce Vita, the formula for fabulous living. And I love inspiring women entrepreneurs all around the world with their fabulous vision. And part of creating a fabulous vision means understanding how to manage your money, because the more money that you're able to manage, the more your business will grow. And I love my expert today, Cozette White, that's going to be talking about that. So Cozette, thank you so much for being my guest today.
Absolutely. You're more than welcome anytime. Thank you for allowing me to even come on the show and share my expertise with your audience. I so appreciate it.
I love that. And before we dive into the subject, I just want to let everyone know there's two ways that you can actually watch and listen to this show. If you're on iTunes, make sure that you rate, review, and subscribe the show, because this is how we get the message out to really empowering women. And if you go onto YouTube or go onto my blog, heatherpicken.com, you can watch the episodes there, and make sure that you also subscribe to the channel and push that little bell. It's kind of like Pavlov's little bell, because that will tell you when the next episode airs. And I don't want you to miss out, because this is such valuable information. So Cozette, before we dive into our topic about managing money and how that impacts your business, I was wondering if you could share with our audience a little bit about what you do.
Absolutely. That's the best part. I help women entrepreneurs grow their business. I help them understand what it is that they need to do to take their business from maybe no profits to triple-digit profits. I help them understand financial statements, how to understand their numbers, their metrics, and just get them on the right track to growing their business. And I also help the consumers, the normal consumers, you and I, get their personal finances in order. I help them go to limited beliefs to the sky's the limit. So that's what I do.
I love that. I love that. And, let's talk about beliefs, because money is a hot topic, especially for women. They get really emotional about it. And I find when you're emotional about money, and even Warren Buffett said this, if you're not managing your emotions around money, don't expect to have it and keep it. So what do you find are some of the biggest mistakes when it comes to women in their business around their finances?
Well, such a great question to start off, and especially with what's going on today. We have a new president, and everyone's on their edge about what's really going to happen to businesses. I had this conversation last night, but the main thing, especially for our women entrepreneurs, it all starts with the mindset. And I tell everyone the habits that we form with our personal finances will filter over into our business. So if we're struggling over here on the other side of the fence with our personal finances, then it's going to filter over and it's going to reflect over here. So, start with the mindset. If you don't like to open up the mail, or you were late paying your personal finances over here, then it's going to filter over here. And if you're not that savvy woman, hire someone to do it. If you don't have the time, hire someone. So just the mindset, getting it all together, wrapping it around your head, is that I need to make sure that I have both personal and business finances together. I got to get in order. Get rid of the clutter, you guys.
I love that. And let's just talk about habits, because this is so important. This is something, when I started doing it in my business, it really did grow. And I really want women to get this, is that you've got to understand, your numbers. You have to be ordered and organized, because if it's not a highest priority, then you're going to find that everything, just kind of eats up your day, and you're going to get further off your path to really growing your business. So I don't know what you have your clients do, but one of the things that when I started this, having a forced savings account, having automated payments taken out. So I don't even see it. And just that little thing of my habit, it took me, a couple hours to put everything together, but that really changed how I was growing my business. So would you recommend strategies like that for women that are listening?
Yes, we really need to streamline. And one thing about that, though, Heather, and I really, all of mine are pretty much set up like that. One thing we need to be careful about when we streamline and we set up those auto payment is that sometimes we set things up and we may find that if we're not really analyzing or looking at our numbers on a monthly basis, certain little expenses can slip through the crack. And it may be one of those expenses that we don't have a use for anymore. But putting things in order, systematically tracking your financials, it's a great point. And what I do with my clients, we usually sit down and we do those operational budgets. That's where we start. We start with, what is it that we're trying to accomplish? What's the end? What revenue point are we trying to get to? Whether it be 3 months, whether it be 6 months, or whether it be the full year. We look at our current operational expenses that are going out the door, and then we start looking at where can we tweak numbers? Where can we adjust numbers? All that looks great. It looks fine on paper. It really, really does. It looks good. It looks like, oh, I got it all together. But if we don't really look at the numbers month by month, and then I like to even break it down to a step further. Stop looking in your rearview mirror and look in the windshield wiper. And what is it that I mean by that, Heather? If you look in the windshield wiper, we're looking forward. We're forward thinkers. If we continue to look at what took place behind us, the past is behind us. So start putting metrics in place. Start looking at your numbers on a weekly basis, so that when we've already done the operational budget. We've already forecasted. So now let's look at how can we truly meet those numbers. And that's where we put metrics into place. And it's part of systems. It is a system. It is a system that you have to look at on a weekly basis, so that come mid-month, oh my goodness, I projected $20,000. I'm only $10,000 there. What do I need to do differently? So that's what we do. I love numbers. I'm a numbers girl.
I love that. It's funny. I never used to be a numbers person until I realized the value in looking at the numbers, watching it grow. So I definitely agree. Having these systems in place are so key. Now, here's another issue that I find a lot of women in general and women entrepreneurs happens in their business. They get all this money, and then all of a sudden they want to go on a shopping spree and spend it. And, one of the things I always say, if you don't have a value on wealth building and saving, you're never going to get there. And then you're going to consume other people's brands. And then you're going to get yourself in a deeper hole. So how do you navigate around that? I'm sure you create an awareness, but what do you share with women about really gaining some wisdom on how important it is for them to manage their money and their business and their life?
Great question. First of all, let me start by saying this. When we acquire the wealth, we should, number one, be reinvesting back into our business. Okay. The key rule is that 80-20, reinvest 80% of the profits back into the business. Okay. You should continuously reinvest that 20%. Okay. If you want to splurge, okay. But remember, it's all about wealth. It's about a legacy. It's about the habits that we form. And if we continuously take that extra 20 or whatever percentage we're taking and splurge, then we're not doing what's best for the business. We're not doing what's best for ourselves and those around us. We're not setting good examples. So let's follow the 80-20 rule. Whatever we make, reinvest 80% of that back into the business, back into growing the business. Wherever there's some weaknesses in the business, put that 80% there and reassess it as you go. So that's just one key facet that I'll share with the listeners.
I love that. And these are such important strategies. And yet I find a lot of women entrepreneurs, they don't understand it. They're not, investing in themselves, their inspired idea, but it is so critical that they do it, especially, I work with a lot of people that want to put out their global brand and they just don't have an awareness of this, or they'll get very emotional about money, particularly when it comes to debt. So let's talk about debt and how that can play a role in growing someone's business, and maybe a few tips or strategies that can help women to really take back their power when it comes to managing money, managing their emotions, especially around debt.
That's a great one as well. Now, when we talk about debt, and I'm going to keep going back to this because it's so vital, it's so key. Everything, Heather, it really starts with our mindset. What we think about, we bring about. If we don't shift the way that we think, then a lot is going to just stay steady. It's not going to move. It's not going to change. And I truly believe in affirmations. And as a matter of fact, just a subway here, I have a book, Attract the Best, and it's all about affirmations. And I'm really, really big on affirmations. It started a few years ago for me. And I truly believe what one thinks about, that is what's going to happen in the life that we live. So as it relates to debt, you all, and hear me very clearly, if you continue to swallow or just, continue to dig a hole, so to speak, and not try to shift yourself out of that hole and continue going down the same path, you're going to get the same results. So you have to make it up in your mind that, hey, I know that I want to make $10,000 a month. I want to make 15. I want to make 20. I'm only making 3. But I know that the potential is there. Then you have to start doing things a little differently. As it relates to the debt, okay, maybe debt is somewhat of a roadblock, so to speak, because Heather was there, I was there. We were all at some point, I'm going to say, for lack of better words, had a shortage in the revenue coming into our business. But at some point, we shifted the way that we were thinking and the way that we handled things to move forward. So think about the self-talk, the negative talk that you tell yourself, that all has it plays a part in it. Think about the people that you hang around. If you're hanging around negative people that have negative outlooks on money, maybe they're in the same boat that you are. Start separating yourself from those individuals. Be the captain of your ship that you're operating. You navigate how you want to see your life go as it relates to your finances, and then start putting away. I gave you the 80-20 rule. Instead of taking the 20% and being a shopaholic or spending it or splurging, take a portion of that and put it away into a 401k, not necessarily a 401k. Let me cancel. Put it in an IRA. As a business owner, you have a certain threshold that you can set aside each year. Put some away into an IRA. Start looking at other saving vehicles. If you don't have an emergency fund, start putting just a little bit, and then, increase as you move forward. But you're going to always hear Cozette say it's a mindset. And I know it is, because I was there. I was in those shoes with everybody at once upon a time. So that's my little 2 cents, you all.
I love it. And, I want to stick with the mindset, how it becomes habit, like affirming, what you want in the future really starts now. And one of the things that I do, I have a practice where I read what I call my fabulous statement of inspiration of what I want to do, be, and have in the world as it relates to empowering millions of women. And I find that those words are so important, because I will get people that come into, my world that match my vision. And so what you're saying is so true. The people, the resources and opportunities will show up when you have a clear vision. So clear vision about your finances, building your business, of what you believe and what you think about what you're saying does absolutely come true. So, excuse me, it's very important what you're saying. And so do you have a ritual that you do every single day to help you align your mind to your vision?
What I really do, and it's all affirmations. It's not so much a ritual, Heather, but I just really believe in affirmations. At any given point throughout the day, I will just start saying affirmations, and I'm serious. It happened, it started, and I started doing them every single day. And I just started seeing that what I really was speaking started coming into play. Where I'm at in my business right now, I started speaking and just believing in myself, and doing vision boards, and looking at those vision boards and changing them and checking them off as I started accomplishing things. And I just noticed my world started changing.
I love it.
My business world and my personal world, it started changing.
It's so true. And also, I will say for people, like creating a vision that is aligned with your highest values, because if you create, let's just say, a money goal, I want to make $1 million, but you're not taking the actions that support that, then your values will dictate your destiny. And so starting smaller with a goal that feels obtainable, that you can do. And then once you do that, you create a bigger sphere of awareness to actually accomplish bigger goals. Because I find women, they fall into that trap of setting goals that are maybe unrealistic based on where they're at and what kind of actions that they're taking.
Right. And when we set those big goals that are unrealistic, it just really sets us up for failure. And we feel like we've never accomplished anything. But if we take baby steps and accomplish that baby step, then move to the next step and then the next step. Because, they say you got to crawl before you walk. So just take the baby steps, and you will look back in a year's time and realize, wow, those weren't really baby steps. But mentally, you told yourself that, so that's what you were doing. But in the long run, you made a huge accomplishment, a huge accomplishment. So
I love that. I love that. So just to recap, what we've talked about so far, creating those habits, having some systems in your business that you have metrics that you're looking at it, every month to see, okay, am I on track? What do I need to take away? Looking at your consumer habits. Do I really need that? Do I really need that Gucci bag, Prada shoes? Maybe I can get that on consignment, money. And then also I would say the most important thing that we've been talking about today that I'm a firm believer is really aligning your mind, affirming where you want to be, where you are at. And it speaks to, Muhammad Ali. He would have these things, what they would call quatrains of, psyching out the other opponent. Like, I'm the best, fly like a bumblebee or butterfly, sting like a bee. And people looked at him like, who is this person? But yet he had this, personality, just kind of really owning his power. And it showed, by what he was doing. He was a great leader.
Right. I agree so much. You said something there. Gosh, and it just went out. Just keep going, keep going. This is great. This is great.
Well, yeah, like I could spend all day long on this topic of the mindset, because I have worked with so many people around the world where if they're talking, they could talk themselves out of success. Oh, I can't do that. And quickly, say, wait a minute, what did you just say? Because as soon as you start imprinting that in your mind, as soon as you have a thought, you elicit a chemical that wires and fires those neurons in your brain. And so, just talking about how Muhammad Ali would psych out his opponent, he would first, obviously empower himself by what he would say, affirming in his mind, like, I'm the best. It would psych out his opponents where they would lose. And it's amazing, because he really did leave a legacy in the world with just showing up to that degree. And we can learn so much from people like that.
Right. And showing up is vital. Showing up is key. Showing up it says, okay, I'm ready. So once you show up, once you are there, once you've gotten that far, I just had a call today and a young lady said, I am so impressed with myself. I felt so out of my normal, so out of my comfort zone, but I appreciate you for encouraging me to go there. She says, it was an area that I normally wouldn't attend, but I had to come home and reflect upon why I ended up there. But she said it allowed me to do some things differently this morning. So just the showing up in itself speaks volume. Us here on this call, showing up and educating those that are listening, your tribe, your community, and just, giving. We showed up. That sets us apart from the next. It's something that we wanted. We chose to, but we showed up.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, to me, it's all about empowering women all around the world with the message of inspiration and giving them the tools and strategies. Cozette, I really appreciate you being my guest today. And before we go, can you share a little bit where people can learn about you? And for those that are watching or listening, we're going to put the links. The links are in the show notes.
Absolutely. You all can follow me. My website is myfinancialhome.com. Again, that's myfinancialhome.com. I'm on every social media site out there, or most platforms, as Cozette M. White. And Cozette is spelled C-O-Z-E-T-T-E, middle initial M, and White. There's another Cozette White out there, believe it or not, you all. So it's Cozette M. White. And one thing that I also want to leave you all with, we've been talking about affirmations and attracting and visions and things of that nature. I want you all to head over to my website. It is called Attracting the Best. And that is where I'll be debuting my book, my baby here that I've been birthing for 9 months. And it's all about affirmations. So it's Attracting the Best. Head over there. Pre-sale is available. You get an autographed book. Okay. Thank you so much, Heather, for this. I so appreciate you just extending the courtesies to say, come on out, share with my tribe.
I love that. Well, thank you so much. And I just want to leave a final message as well for all of our listeners on iTunes. Please rate, review, and subscribe, because this is how we spread the message. I'm on a mission in empowering millions of women. We've reached thousands so far, but we need to take it to the next level. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you ring that little bell, I like Pavlov's little bell, and subscribe to the show, because again, it's how we get the message out there, and together we can create extraordinary things. Until next time, this is Heather Picken. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. So if you found this show to be fabulous, please share with your fabulous friends, rate, review, and subscribe on YouTube and iTunes. And I'll make sure I take a beatbox lesson, right? Or give my little chihuahua a bone. That's me. Fabulous.